Hello Blizzard fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between Tura and MorN on Terraform, the latter edition. This is a Terran versus Terran Heart of the Swarm match. I'm not sure how many of these I have cast in Heart of the Swarm. I'm not entirely familiar with the meta at this point, but let's get right on into it. In the bottom right of Terraform, the latter edition, we have the red Terran player, Tura, representing TOG. Is that TOG? I don't know. Again, tell me in the comments who these people are. I'm sure they are very, very important and very cool. In the top left of Terraform, the latter edition, we have the blue Terran player. It is MorN with those SCVs heading on out. All right, going to speed things up in the first part of the game here again. So Terran versus Terran is pretty much just going to be bio. You can see bio versus mech, though. Both players, I think it's fairly rare to see both go mech. But basically the difference is going to be bio players can pretty much get away with having more bases because they are more mobile than a meching Terran. The meching Terran has to be more cost efficient with the engagements, using the Thors, using the tanks, using the Hellbats, and can survive on fewer bases. But again, it's not somewhere you really want to be comfortable for too long against a bio player, if I understand correctly. So both players are scouting out. I do love to see a good scout. SCV popping on up, going to see what they can see. You're going to recognize that we're going to go ahead and actually build everything close to the vest here for Tura. And meanwhile, we're actually building a supply depot at the ramp. So harassing SCV gets dealt with very, very quickly there by MorN, and is forced to escape with its life, running away as fast as it can, which is just as fast as the SCV chasing it, so it'll be fine. Both players doing the same thing. Look at this. Supply depots, factories, orbital commands, Marines, pretty much the same thing going up for both players. Are we both getting both our gas? Yeah, both assimilators, or rather refineries, are being taken as these are Terran players. Starport coming up for both players. Okay, so standard stuff at this point. What are we doing at the factory for both players, though? Factory actually getting a tech lab here. Nope, gonna flipped up and switch. There we go. Gonna use the tech lab here. So we're gonna go Banshee. Yep, MorN is going Banshee. Meanwhile, this guy... Are we going Banshee here as well? We are. So, nope, actually a Raven. Okay, I like the Raven play. It is pretty good against Cloak Banshees, as MorN is actually going for Cloak. Slow things down just a little bit here at the 5-minute mark. Usually I speed things up when the gameplay gets a little more interesting, but like if there are Reapers out or Lings or a Marine attack or something like that. But in this case, it's interesting just because both players are kind of doing the same thing. So let's see what happens here. Banshee, you're going to be in trouble because, again, there's a Raven that's on the way. With Ravens inside the base, I think you're going to die fairly quickly. There are enough Marines on the ground to take care of you. As I take a quick little drink, Banshee heading across. Again, there's a group of Marines. There's a Raven. It's like Tura knows exactly what is coming here. Taking another command center. Is this something before MorN? Yeah. MorN is hoping this Banshee does a lot of damage here at the 6-minute mark. The Marines and the Ravens are ready for it, though. Are they actually repositioning themselves perfectly? Oh, interesting. Here comes the Banshee, trying to get some shots off on that SCV. There we do. Managing to actually get the SCV, recognizing it's kind of in a tough spot. It can't really engage these Marines, but the really good Banshee micro actually takes down an SCV and a single Marine, which is more than I would expect, considering there is actually another Marine goes down. A Raven here, another Marine. Wow, so taking some minor damage, 30 hit points have gone down, but 4 total kills on this Banshee. MorN is actually showing a bit of an impressive display. Yikes, but there's the Viking. You don't really want to do that display with a Viking in the air. The Banshee heads on home immediately, sending out a single Widowmine by itself across the map. I'm not entirely sure what the intent is. Are we hiding in the weeds? No, we're still going to continue out. Are we going to just try to plant at a potential third base for Tura? Are you going to burrow? And you are. Okay, so burrowing here at a potential third. I don't think Terran players usually build their command centers at the third base. I think they usually try to build them here or here and flip them over, but maybe that's something Tura will try to do, send an SCV up to try to build a command center and it will die. So I do not know. Either way, we have a Raven of our own for MorN at this point, just in case Banshees are coming out. But no, it looks like Tura did not actually go for Banshee, saving the money instead for tanks. Whoa! Alright, so a tank Marine push here. 2 tanks available for Tura, none for MorN. Oh, just kidding. There is 1 for MorN. Are there more in production? Yes, there are. So again, both players very familiar with this matchup. You kind of go Banshee with Ravens to deal with the Banshees into a Marine tank type push with some Vikings in the air for air superiority. And again, 2 Vikings against 1 Viking, I feel like is going to favor our friend Tura here, but we'll see what's going to happen. Are they going to fly right on in? Oh, taking an unnecessary hit from this Viking, but the Viking exposes itself for MorN and then backs on out, recognizing what's going on. Both players doing some tank positioning, I feel like. Yep, there we go. Marine ends up dead after scouting exactly what is coming his way. And, man, some free shots here from MorN's Viking. Not doing super well. Trying to take down that Raven as well, I suppose. There's a PDD here, point defense drone, available for Tura. Tanks are setting up. I don't think either of them can hit each other. There we go. There we go. Siege tank smashing all of those Marines. And the PDD eventually expires as it runs out of energy. Just kind of flying around here with the Raven, trying to find a place. Throw down a point defense drone or throw down an auto turret or something. Oh, Hunter Seeker on the siege tank. 2 of them? Ah, that's enough to kill a siege tank. Alright, pretty interesting stuff there. 2 Hunter Seekers can take down a single siege tank in this particular situation. So the tank count now is actually in favor of Tura. But Tura taking some hits on that guy. Another Hunter Seeker going down on all of these workers. Oh, good micro. However, taking down the Raven there. Did the Raven actually die? No, just a tank. Or rather, a Viking. So, okay, this siege tank has 3 kills. Gonna move up here with these tanks, try to take down, or with these Marines, try to take down this tank as well. Are we gonna get it? The Marines are trying to focus it down, and they do manage to take it down, but that's pretty much it. The Vikings have landed to provide a bit of a buffer for the siege tank. Siege tank doing a lot of work here. 35 damage, splash damage to the ground. The Banshees here trying to take down this tank. Are we gonna get it? And yes, we do. And probably can actually snipe down that Banshee as well. And we do. The Raven only has 4 hit points left. The Marine comes and taps on it, and it dies. Gonna try to snipe down this Raven. You can get it! No, Viking, what are you doing, MorN? MorN chooses instead not to chase, or not MorN. Tura fails instead to chase down the Viking, and the Viking's gonna head on back down to base. It is 36 to 35 workers, 60 to 56 total supply for both these players. They both have their naturals up and running. Getting gas here a little bit earlier is MorN. He has some things in plan here for sure. A drop coming out with 8 Marines. How are the upgrades doing is going to be the question of the day. Were we not producing anything during that attack? Man, I think Tura was pretty much just making workers and expanding during that whole attack. There's a single siege tank here. Okay, 2 siege tanks and a missile turret being constructed and a 3rd base. Like I said, 3rd base being constructed inside the main base of Tura. But here comes a medevac drop along the left side. Nothing much else going on here. MorN is going for a command center. An orbital command, getting an armory now as well, and a siege tank and +1 infantry weapons, as well as more medevacs. So here comes the medevac for Tura coming down around here, going to land right on the back side of this mineral line, going to try to kill a few workers. Ooh, Vikings are here. Medevac ends up dead, and a tank here, a bunch of Marines. The Marine count is a lot higher for MorN at this point, and that's it. So the drop cost 8 Marines and a medevac, and we killed what? 1 SCV? Yep, 1 SCV has died for Tura, or for MorN, rather, at this point. And did he lose? Actually, no. No! MorN didn't lose any SCVs in that attack. I was misreading the display here. So, okay, that drop was not the best one I've ever seen in the history of drops from Tura. MorN again, Tura again, sending out another drop, possibly, maybe just actually using those medevacs for healing. A single tank as well, but here comes a double drop coming in with actually a tank this time for MorN. So let's see what this is going to do. Coming along this bottom side of the map, and there's really nothing to scout this for Tura. I don't think that Tura sees this coming at all. The red Terran player a little bit in the dark about this particular attack. Kind of setting up. Are we pushing back though? Man, is Tura map hacking? I don't think so, but I've seen some little suspicious things at this point. But here we come. There is a missile turret. We're going to try to drop right in the middle here. The Marines actually trying to burn down this tank. Is there a response? The Marines are not actually focused on killing anything right now. But then, oh, huge tank splash there on that whole group. But the reinforcing Marines, come on in. Take down the tank. Take down the medevac as well. And that's about it. So an SCV trying to build a missile turret did get killed by this Widow Mine, so that's kind of nice. And this command center will not be able to land. So that's kind of annoying for Tura as well. 3rd base already well established here for MorN. 57 to 49 workers. MorN is keeping the pressure on while working on the macro at the same time. So if we scan, do we need to... Do you have a scan available here, Tura? I mean, there's something here, obviously. It's going to be a Widow Mine. Oh, Widow Mine is armed. There's the scan. And sending 1 Marine in, actually, to trigger the shot. And the rest of the Marines come in to clean it up. And now we're going to land the command center. Again, a little bit later than MorN's was, which is a bit of a problem. But Here we come, MorN, with tanks and Marines and Vikings and Medevacs and Ravens and Marauders. So getting everything and the kitchen sink here. What is that armory for? Where's the armory? Oh, okay, so getting ship and vehicle weapon upgrades there. Oh, so we could benefit both the Vikings and the tanks here with that upgrade, which is really nice. It's a change made in Heart of the Swarm to benefit Terran players. And here we come with a drop again with the Marines, like these Marine drops does Tura. Coming along the top side, just enjoying the nature. Hey, look, there's a little plant down there. Hey, there's some kind of crazy like nuclear silo over here. I'm not sure what that is, but it's kind of scary. There's an arm going into the water, like it's a giant fishing arm. Possibly, I don't know what the intent is there whatsoever. What is going over here? Marines, just kind of scouting things out. Is there a base up here we need to worry about? Is there a base over here we need to worry about? This Marine, I think, is going to accidentally scout this push. Did he see it? I do not know, but there we go. A small attack right here, but here comes the drop. Trying to take down these missile turrets. I'm not sure if it's the best use of time for these Marines, but they're doing a pretty good job of it. Missile turrets dying left and right. Constructed missile turrets as well. Ones that are under construction being burned down. I think we're going to run at this point, and yes, Medevac is going to run. And the turrets are getting reconstructed here for MorN. Does not want to get dropped. That is absolutely for sure. +2/+1 upgrades available on those Marines. These guys have +2/+1 as well. And third base is well established for both players. So both players just kind of hanging out right here, feeling each other out. Not quite sure what they want to do with their lives. And if you can hear the voices there, they're actually in French for some reason. So I don't know why that is. Again, trying to drop there, but no, missile turrets are here and ready for it. MorN says, I am never getting dropped again in the history of this game. We have 100 missile turrets along this edge of the map. This is actually exposed, so coming up here might be pretty good, but here comes the big push. This is the push from MorN, coming on out again with those Vikings, those Medevacs, Marines, Marauders, and a single Raven. Tanks do have that +1 attack upgrade, and tanks are here for Tura as well. Did we knock down the... Is it open or is it closed? I think it's open. At this point, positioning is going to be so important in this fight. Tanks going into siege mode, and we're going to walk into this. Tura, be so careful, stimming forward, trying to do what we can. But again, there are tanks that are ready. And man, Marines get a perfect concave for MorN, taking down all the Marines of Tura. Tanks in the back are, that's it. Tanks were undefended, getting killed one by one. Tura leaves the game. MorN is victorious here in this TVT. And that is about it. So thank you so much for watching. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Blizzard upload. You can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much, and you take care of yourself.